Where's Triss?
A Witcher came in. Attacked us. I tried to protect Triss. He was fast. Too fast for me. He hit Triss before she could cast a spell. He knew how to fight a sorceress. Then he ordered her to activate the megascope. He needed to get to Edirn, near the dwarven town of Bergen. Triss said it was madness, that she didn't have the coordinates. He gave her a strange look, threatening. Better give it your best. You're going first, with me right behind you. Then I passed out. When I woke, they were gone. I knew I was dying. The forest called me.
Why, Cedric? Why did you get involved?
Why did you? Sometimes we must. Have I told you about my visions? That's why I drink. It helps. I'm safe in a mist of vodka. See nothing, feel nothing.
Cedric, calm down.
But now I see clearly. You need to regain your memory. Only then will you understand who's killing Crowned Dwan. And why.
How can I get it back?
In Edirn. In a place tainted with dark magic. Where ghosts of the fallen will fight a great battle. Save their souls, and your memory will return.
So I need to... Okay. We need to get to Edirn then, and leave.
What's happening with the forest? I feel a presence.
They come to bid you farewell.
My forest. Buffet. Blade. Farewell.
Poor Cedric.
Geralt, where have you been?
The Kingslayer, damn it. I almost had him.
You fled.
Teleported to Edirn.
What? How?
He forced Triss to cast the spell.
Shit.
Roach sent me to find you. We're setting off. He's learned something new.
Right.
Scoia'tael are also up to something big.
Okay, Roach first, I think. Ooh, are we making a decision as to... I was actually thinking this. With Cedric, it's actually... This is a much tougher decision than anything in The Witcher when it came to Order versus Squirrels. Because there's not as much personal animosity going on, because Yorveth is not Yavin. Yavin was very obnoxious and arrogant, and elves are better, blah, 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 blah. Whereas Yorveth is a bit more, we are fighting because we can't not fight. If we don't fight, then we will lose. We are in a war, regardless of what people might think. And you can disagree with that, of course, but he is in a position where he's being attacked, like, by Roach and everything. Conversely, Roach is doing his job, and he is protecting his people from Scoia'tael attacks. It's like, there isn't like a kind of a bad person between the two of them. Well, there isn't one obvious bad person and one obvious good person. Whereas Siegfried versus Yavin, that seemed to be more black and white, and it became more about looking at the issues beyond them. And it was basically, which shade of black do you like? And I'm guessing this is going to be the cutoff point, isn't it? I assume we're going to be picking one of the two, and then differences will happen. Well, we need to speak to Yorveth anyway. We've got this letter from Margot. So we'll ask about Scoia'tael, I think.
What are the Scoia'tael planning?
They want to storm the barge and they need your help.
When did you join the Scoia'tael, Zoltan?
It's not like that. They're taking the prisoners to Drakenburg. A special prison for non-humans. Bloody monument to human hatred.
And what about Roach?
What's Roach planning?
He went off on Laredo, so it must concern the Commandant. It's something important.
Oh, that's an interesting question. If we don't go, more people will die, be killed by Letho, because we haven't gone. This is probably a question, probably thinking about a question that's not coming up yet. Oh, I guess I need to talk to them both.
I'll talk to them. Maybe Roach or the Scoia'tael can finally be useful.
Meet your vet in the Elven Ruins. Okay, I can do that. But, ooh, level up. But, yay. But, I mean, if we don't go, if we storm the barge, I don't know. I mean, storming the barge, we'll see what Yorvith says. I'm trying to think. No, it is this way. I should probably level while I'm here. But if we go... Potion duration increased. Right, is there one I particularly want? Damage dealt when poisoned. Insta kill when poisoned. Yeah. If I go to, oh, I assume, yeah, you pretty much want to go all the way down one, don't you? And if you go down here, what were your options? Go roll even further when dodging. Extra vigors in combat. Sword damage is increased. I mean, the other thing, of course, is to Actually sign, which I do use quite a bit. Hexed opponents do slightly better for you. Ooh, Quen. Quen is good. So if I want to be working towards it, I need to either improve my Ard sign or the Akshi sign. I think you upgrade Akshi if we are using that. Admittedly, I don't think that's going to be particularly affected by the fact we're using it a lot. It's level 3 anyway. Loads of random little things. Wondrous, extra sign damage. Right. Well, I think we need to see. I think ultimately, okay, the sooner we get our memory back and find out what's going on, the better. So I think, and finding Triss, of course. I think we'll have to see who's leaving first, pretty much. That might be the best thing to work with.
Yorvith awaits you. Do on.
You're asking for a slap, mate.
Where is he?
He forced Triss to teleport them both to Edirn.
No. The Scoia'tael in Edirn will pay for my stupidity with their lives.
Elias, ready the unit to march. You'll leave immediately.
What's so important in Upper Edirn?
Why Upper Edirn?
The Pontar Valley is a juicy piece of meat beset by hounds.
The Scoia'tael bite hardest.
It's our land. Our forefathers' land. I'm no bandit, Gwynblade. I lead a great army.
You want to be king? No. Looking to create an elven state?
It sounds like you want to establish an elven state.
There is already an elven state. Dol Blathana.
Francesca Findabair rules there.
Rules. She merely carries out Nilfgaardian orders. We want a truly free state, where an elf could visit a human inn. A land where humans could enter the forest without fear.
See above. Points about Yavin. If this guy were in The Witcher 1, that'd probably make things a bit more difficult. But I mean, still robbing the bank. Especially after Vivaldi said he wouldn't give the money if he had it. What do you know about Bergen?
You said you're going to Vergen.
True.
No, he didn't.
Why go to a dwarven town?
Henselt and his army have pitched camp on the right riverbank. The Virgin and a sorceress gather reinforcements to defend Edirn.
Which sorceress?
Philippa Eilhart.
Ah.
What's a Redanian sorceress doing in Edirn?
Only she can reveal that.
You want to be king? I don't think he does. What's your plan?
What does the leader of an army expect of me?
That you accompany me to Edirn. Perhaps you'll find your sorceress there. You'll certainly find someone who will soon change the balance of power in the north.
There was a massacre in town.
There was a massacre in Flotsam. The streets run red with your brethren's blood.
I know. That's why I need your help.
You want me to murder humans at your side?
I wish death upon every one of those Dwan. But that's not the point. Upper Edirn is our goal.
That's 2 days away on foot.
That's 2 days' travel on foot. You'll never make it in time.
I have a plan.
What plan?
First, you must agree to help us.
I need to do something else. What's it all about?
I need to know more before I decide.
No, Vatgern. You helped me with Letho. That's the sole reason we're speaking. We may both be pursuing the same son of a bitch, but I haven't forgotten the company you arrived in. Make your choice now. I'll let you go if you refuse. I couldn't do that later.
I need to do something first.
I can help, but I need to take care of something first.
Be quick. I shall wait.
I want to go and talk with...
Yorvith
Roach.
awaits you. Duan.
I think that's kind of a warning that he awaits your final decision on whether we refuse or not. I find it interesting technically that we didn't actually refuse him, which is good, I suppose, because then people might have done what I've just done, which is I've just come up here and walked there because I just walked down here because I think he was around, because that's where Cedric was. So we'll go back into the city, well, the town of Flotsam, and we'll see what Roach says. But Yorveth's planning on leaving pretty sharpish by the sound of it. Zoltan said that he wants us to raid the barge, so I assume that's the plan. We're going to raid the barge and head on. Yourself.
Vernon's waiting inside.
Yeah. But I think Vernon might be waiting to deal with Laredo.
Roach, things have gotten a little more complicated.
What the fuck were you doing with the Scoia'tael? You gave Yorvith a sword.
You followed me?
I've got others who do that for me, Geralt. Ves, to be exact.
I don't think you're going to believe this, but it's true.
Yorvith knows a lot about the Kingslayer, and they no longer see eye to eye. He could lead us to him.
The only journey I'll make with Yorvith in tow is to the scaffold in Vizima's marketplace.
The Kingslayer fled to Vergen in Edirn. He forced Triss to teleport them both.
Damn, he's made a mockery of us! If that's how he wants to play, I'll make him regret it.
What sparked the massacre?
Flotsam's ablaze. How did it start?
When Vess reported you'd met with Yorveth, I ordered Laredo to provide us with backup. The incompetent oafs were supposed to wait for a signal, but the crossbowmen were twitchy. We surprised them, but Yorveth, the Scoia'tael, gave us hell. We barely escaped alive. Many of my men are wounded, but Laredo's people... When news that elves massacred a dozen soldiers hit the trading post, 2 of the soldiers' fathers decided to take it out on an elven girl. You can imagine what happened next.
Yes. Dandelion said you learnt something new.
I heard you have news for me.
Laredo has a deal with Kedwin. That merchant living in his house is Henselt's agent. For a pouch of gold, the good commandant promised to support Kedweni troops in the event of a conflict.
So what now?
I want that spy, to squeeze him for information. And I've sentenced Commandant Laredo to death.
Roach, we have to sail. We need to get to Eddern.
I'm not leaving until I deal with Laredo. The spy may know something about the Kingslayers. I wouldn't be surprised if Henselt of Kedwin was behind all this.
No. No, we've got to go. I can't stay. But I don't want to... I just want to stay here and not make a decision between Roach and Yorveth. No, we've got to go. I don't think we can stay. We can't afford the risk. What happens if Letho does something to Triss? What happens if Letho gets the person he's after in Eddern, and then he goes off somewhere else and we lose the trail? I assume that wouldn't be the case. I don't think the game would block it off like this, but I think role-playing wise, we have to go now.
I'll be back later.
Damn it, Geralt, it's not a date. You can't keep putting it off.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't like upsetting these guys. So I've saved.
Vernon's waiting inside.
I may be... I don't know. Doesn't mean if anything happens I can kind of change my mind. And give Roach a go.
My eyes from staring at that forest.
I know, or I could... Right, let's think about this. If I go with Roach, we deal with Laredo. Now, if we don't deal with Laredo, that potentially kind of helps with... Right, okay. If we deal with Laredo and deal with the spy, that weakens Henselt. Not really sure that's something that's massively important. Whereas... What's this? Contrary to your claims, Aina Gaussel is no collaborator. Margot to Yorveth. Aina Gaussel is no collaborator. He yields to Laredo only as much as is necessary and is never servile. Louis Merce, however, should be a target. He's kin of some sort of the commander, brought here from God knows where, and has become the most important cog in the bureaucratic machine. He dances to that old bag Clovis's tune. You should get her too. I have a personal score to settle with her. Those from Lobanon are all right. Don't touch them. I suggest you make contact with Aneshka. People have grown used to her trips in the forest. She could carry messages and nobody would notice. I think she might be a witch. At the very least, she helps my girls whenever they get into trouble. Someone will try to lynch her sooner or later, so you may offer her protection in exchange for her aid, and I have no idea what to think about that, Melina. You'd think if she were doing missions for the Scoia'tael that Yorveth would have told her. We don't know what kind of arrows were in those bodies, do we? We only know that they were riddled with arrows. Maybe Laredo was using her Sorry. And I thought, no, but she did run away and then was fine. But how do we know that they were Scoia'tael? They were elves. They could have just been dressed as Scoia'tael. It's that little trap door. Oh, I get it. We're gonna if we go with Vernon Roach, you infiltrate the castle, the Laredo's tower kind of space, kind of his house, and then you go back down through the cave. Oh, okay, right. Okay.